could be better. You know, that's,
There's always room for improvement.
You could have green thumbs up.
All right, thank you, Bobby. Well, the next item on the agenda is the operating report and the 2018 metric performance discussion from our service provider, PSCG Long Island, which will be led by their President and Chief Operating Officer, Dan Eichorn. Dan?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Before I get into the operating report, I just wanted to address a issue that was recently in the media. And it concerns our Montauk Substation. So just at a high level, we're doing a tremendous amount of work on the east end. It is one of the areas on the island that we consider a load pocket. So the load growth on the east end is much greater than the rest of the island together. And doing significant work out there, from the offshore wind to new transmission work to battery storage. A lot of great things that the community wants, and a lot of great things for all of our customers. We are in need of building a new substation out there to support all the activities that are going on in that area. And LIPA actually owns land on Navy Road where we initially planned to put the Montauk Substation. But at the urging of the town officials, it's on a small lake, pond. It's a water area where the town feels that could be in the future, more of a recreational area for the town. So we could have placed a substation exactly on land on Navy Road that LIPA currently owns, but we decided to honor the town's request, not put the substation there and look for alternative sites. We've evaluated at least 6 other sites, some in excruciating detail, to see if we were able to put a substation, one of them being a recycling center landfill in Montauk. That turned out not to be a suitable site. So we continue to look for more sites and evaluate other areas. And the most recent location that's on Flamingo Road is a site that we thought was preferable to us as well as the town officials. So we're going to do tons of outreach. We will definitely take in some of our customers' concerns, do everything reasonable, balancing all the concerns of all of our customers as well as the area there. But it is an area that definitely needs a reinforcement. We have temporary generators that run out there in the summertime that we want to get rid of. They're expensive, and it's not the cleanest power. So that substation is really going to benefit the entire community and is in line with a lot of the goals of the East End towns.
Dan, can you elaborate a little bit on the community involvement, your conversations with the town out there?
Yeah, we've been working extensively with the town officials. We have a meeting that's targeted for the end of February to do outreach to the public and really understand the public's concerns and do as much mitigation as we can for that site out there. We think we can, balance it and address a lot of the concerns that people will have.
So, Dan, you don't have to be not to go into too much detail, but are we looking then to acquire town land and sort of swap? If this land is recreational, future-based recreational use, are we looking for non-recreational commercial type space the town has available, excess, or are you looking to purchase new land?
We're looking to purchase new land. And that the existing land is something that I think LIPA would take a look at and decide whether they keep the land or sell where the existing site is on Navy Road. But we've worked, like I said, with the township extensively. They initially had a recommendation to go on a recycling landfill center. We evaluated that, and for numerous reasons, we could not locate a substation there. Town understood our concerns, so we continued to look. And like I said, we've evaluated at least 6 properties, and a couple of them in a lot of detail.
It would seem. I commend you for the effort getting involved with the town and the community.
Thank you also.
It seems there's a no-win situation. If we don't listen to the local governments, we get assailed. If we listen to the local governments, we get assailed by the people whose governments they are.
Citing a utility facility anywhere is a very difficult proposition from the standpoint of community acceptance. It's been that way forever, in my experience in the utility business. But in this case, you'd think that the town would have its hand on the pulse of of the community and being fully aware of the community's views on this. Is there what about the timing in this? When did the town step forward in leading us in that direction? Was it in a time frame where the community had enough time to interact with the town itself to express its opinion, or is that something that we have to look to the future on when we do our grassroots stakeholder type?
I don't know. I think we've gotten really good support from the town officials, and I'm confident, right? It's just a matter of doing some outreach, listening to the public, making some adjustments and some accommodations. I'm confident we can resolve the majority of the concerns. As you mentioned, right, nobody wants a substation next to their house. We think there's things we can do to mitigate the appearance and the look. Just even by the code, the substation would be set back 60 feet from the road, and it's a pretty heavily wooded area. So there's a lot of things that we can do. We've had similar situations, and I think we've been successful with a lot of our outreach over the last year. The Shelter Island, I think, was a good example where a lot of concerns from the residents, a lot of concerns from the officials. We continue to talk, we continue to do the outreach, we continue to mitigate them, and in the end, everybody was extremely happy with that job. So that's our process here. The only thing I would say is it's a little bit more critical is that the timing, and the load continues to grow, and we'd like to get our work completed out there to support the offshore wind, support the new transmission, and get rid of the temporary generators.
So I'd like to echo what Trustee Fischel said. Thank you. Since you have alternative and options and some time for taking their concerns into consideration. You touched on it, but I wanted to ask you the question specifically. Since you have a load growth dynamic going on, and now you have a pause in the substation build at the original site, how much time do you have to seek an alternative site before there's becomes a bigger problem?
So I would say, it's all dependent on continued load growth, weather. For the, every day, the day like today, we're in good shape. Right? If we have an extremely hot summer with extended heat, that's when it gets a little bit more critical. We don't like to just continue to add temporary generation. There's stuff that we did this summer to address noise issues and environmental concerns. So the solution isn't just to continue to add temporary generation. We really got to find this site and do the work necessary.
Will you keep us apprised as things develop?
Definitely.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I'm going to